Thank you for being here this morning. Welcome to the 78th formal assembly at Washington High School. This tradition has been going on for 78 years at Washington High School, so thank you for being here this morning. It's always a really special event. We're going to get started today by introducing our judges. My first judge is Miss Megan Snyder-Spirit. Megan was one of my former students. She's a 2003 graduate of Washington High School. She attended Capital University and graduated magna cum laude with a political science degree. Megan then graduated from the University of Akron with her law degree, and she is an assistant prosecutor at the Massillon Law Department currently. And she just had her first baby boy. Thanks, Megan. Next, we have Mr. Jeff Spicer. Jeff's a 1981 graduate of Washington High School and a U.S. Army veteran. Thank you, Jeff. He earned an associate's degree in business administration from Penn State University, and he's a financial advisor with Delaro, Rocker, and Thomas. Jeff lives in Canton with his wife Barbara and his daughters Samantha and Allison. Welcome back to Washington High School, Jeff. Please say good morning to my favorite police officer, Mr. Bobby Gerzer. Bobby's a 1978 graduate of Washington High School, and in 1980 he went to North Iowa Community College. He has an Associate of Arts degree. He also attended the University of Akron and the Medina Police Academy. Bobby is committed to, he was committed in his career to investigating crimes against children, and he's also a member of the FBI's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. He also served in the as a special marshal for the United States, and he's kind of one of our famous people in Massillon, and he's been featured in lots of TV series, NBC series, To Catch a Predator, hosted by Chris Hansen. Bobby's retired now, so I'm happy for him. But thank you so much for coming back this morning. Thanks, Bobby. Next, we have Mr. Nick Massillon. He's a 1992 graduate of Washington High School. Nick was also in the top 5 finalists for Outstanding Senior Boy. Good for you, Nick. He was the 1992 Male Athlete of the Year and a quarterback for the 1991 Regional Champion Massillon football team. Mr. Massillon graduated from Massillon College and is an insurance agent at AA Hammersmith. He enjoys helping out at St. George's Orthodox Church and spending time with his wife Kara and sons Max and Ari. Thanks, Nick. And finally, please give a big massive welcome to Miss Sarah Hyder. Miss Sarah Hyder is Miss Ohio 2015. Sarah is a native of Worcester, where she is the Community Engagement Manager at the Village Network. She has lived and interned in New York and Chicago, and she earned a journalism degree from Ohio University. She is currently earning her master's degree in public administration from Kent State University. Welcome. Thanks, Sarah. Thank you so much to all my judges. I know that this is a really fun day for you, so please enjoy it. A special thank you to all the committee members. There are a ton of teachers out there that help make this happen. I'm just the person out front, but a lot of them do so much work. And I'd now like to take your attention to the center stage for our first couple. Please say good morning to Miss Leanne Brzezinski and Mr. Brandon Bennett. Leanne is the daughter of Mary and Joe Brzezinski and is president of Student Council and National Honor Society, as well as serving on the Canton Repository's team board as vice president. She's busy with cheerleading, is president of Student Council, and Mr. Matt Citron said, "One wonders how a young person like Leanne can accomplish everything she does in a 24-hour period. She is organized, efficient, and an amazing time manager. Add to these qualities the perpetual positivity of her countenance, and you have one remarkable young lady." Escorting Leanne this morning is Mr. Brandon Bennett. Brandon is the son of Ronald Bennett and Billy Joe Appleton, and the grandson of Augie and Vicki Bennett. He is an active member of the Tiger Cross Country team, track, and playing music. Brandon would like to join the Air Force after graduation. Mr. Eric Myers stated, Brandon is a conscientious young man who brings his best to every challenge that life presents him. Thank you so much to Leanne Brzezinski and Brandon Bennett. Next, say hello to Miss Victoria Nelson and Mr. Stephen Sober. Tori is the daughter of Michael and Megan Nelson. She's a member of the Tiger Swing Band, National Honor Society, and musical. She dreams of going to medical school, and Mrs. Wendy Snodgrass stated, Tori is a kind and intelligent young lady. She is always prepared for class and eager to learn, and she has a passion for helping people. Stephen Sober is the son of Kelly and Mark Sober. He plays the saxophone in the Tiger Swing Band and has held leads in the WHS musical. He's also a member of the National Honor Society. Stephen would like to study aerospace engineering, and Mr. Jason Neal said, Stephen is incredibly intelligent and works very hard at everything he pursues. His past and present accomplishments give him every reason to believe that he will be very successful in the future. Thank you so much to Victoria Nelson and Stephen Sober. Let's give a Washington High School welcome to Miss Samantha Smith and Mr. Ben Brayler. Samantha is the daughter of Don Smith and Stephanie Smith. She is a varsity soccer and softball player, president of Senior Advisory Board, and a member of National Honor Society. Samantha is a wonderful student. She has career goals set in place and will be very successful in a career she chooses. Sam is also a great leader and has the ability to administrate activities, stated Mr. Brian Sifferlin. Ben Brayler is the son of Amy and Tom Brayler. He is a member of the National Honor Society, a Tiger football player, and vice president of DECA. Ben was also selected for Buckeye Boys State, and Mr. Chuck Richards said, Ben is an amazing student and an even better person. He demonstrates creativity and steps outside the box. His uncanny ability at critical thinking and problem-solving skills elevated him to a DECA International qualifier. The sky's the limit for Ben Brayler. Thank you so much to Miss Samantha Smith and Mr. Ben Brayler. Please give a round of applause to Miss Carly Gump and Mr. Jordan Smith. Carly is the daughter of Renee and Martin Gump. She is a member of the Tiger Swing Band, National Honor Society, and Advisory Board. Carly would like to attend West Virginia University to study biochemistry, and Miss Christina Blair said, Carly always came to class with a smile on her face, kindness in her heart, and a positive attitude. I have never known her to shy away from a challenge, and her determination and perseverance make her successful both in and out of the classroom. I have no doubt that she will be a success in the future. She makes Massillon City Schools and me very proud. Jordan is the son of Megan and Tori Smith. Jordan is the drum major for the Tiger Swing Band. He's also on the track team, the swim team, participates in French Club. Mr. Richard Conaway said, Jordan exudes an abundance for life. His quick wit, keen mind, and enthusiasm underscore his passion and focus for creating his own successes in life. Give a great big round of applause to Miss Carly Gump and Mr. Jordan Smith. Please say good morning to Miss Emily Kolick and Mr. Camden Brenner. Emily is the daughter of Russell and Gina Kolick. She's also a varsity softball player, member of the Tiger Swing Band, active in musical, and was also crowned Washington High School's 2016 Fall Homecoming Queen. Emily is polite and a respectful young lady. Her personality brightens the classroom. Her determination inspires her peers to give 100% in class. "It's an honor to have Emily in class," stated Mr. Jack Kilgore. Camden is the son of John Brenner and Stacy Brenner, and he's active in Chess Club, National Technical Vocational Honor Society, and digital media, where Mr. Farrell said he is always willing to conquer creative and technical tasks with perfect execution. Camden would like to become a digital media producer after graduation, and Mr. Jack Kilgore said, "Camden is a polite young man. His determination will enable him to be successful in college and in his future career. It's a pleasure to have Camden in class." Please give a round of applause for Miss Emily Kolick and Mr. Camden Brenner. Please welcome Miss Hannah Jones and Mr. John Sanson to our stage this morning. Hannah is the daughter of Jamie and Jeremy Jones, and she is a member of National Honor Society, a varsity Tiger cheerleader, and member of Senior Advisory Board. She would like to travel the world, and Mrs. Ashley Barker said, "Hannah Jones is a conscientious, hardworking student who conducts herself with grace in class. She commits herself to excellence always and is an exemplary role model for others in both behavior and attitude. Hannah is dependable and exceeds expectations in the quality of her work and personality. She has been a true joy to have in the classroom." John is the son of Angela Moore and John Sanson. He is active in the pharmacy program, National Vocational Honor Society, and would like to study pharmacy at the University of Toledo. Mrs. Janice Sprankle said, "John Sanson has proven to be an amazing student in the pharmaceutical science program. He has a unique personality as he shows real leadership and entertains everyone with his laughter. It comes from realizing that he has the time to move beyond to what he is doing. He is dedicated to the healthcare team and plans to move forward staying in the medical field." Thanks so much to Miss Hannah Jones and Mr. John Sanson. Please say good morning to Miss Brianna Locken and Mr. Quinn Pierkowski. Brianna is the daughter of Dennis and Julie Locken, a varsity Tiger tennis player, member of Advanced Choir and National Honor Society. Bree would like to attend Cleveland State, and Mr. Joe Vober said, "Brianna Locken is the best combination of drive, determination, humor, and sass. You know she will bring that it factor to whatever she becomes a part of. You want to work with her. Why? Because she is intelligent and capable enough to affect change at whatever she does." Quinn is the son of Cheryl and Brian Pierkowski. He was selected to attend Buckeye Boys State, is a member of National Honor Society and the Tiger Swing Band. Quinn would like to study math in college, and Mr. Richard Conaway said, "Quinn possesses those qualities of all successful young men. He is energetic, thoughtful, committed to excellence, and is brave of heart. His potential is boundless." Thank you to Ms. Brianna Locken and Mr. Quinn Pierkowski. Please say hello to Ms. Kaylin Ullman and Mr. Jackson Collins. Kaylin is the daughter of Kevin Ullman and Carrie Johnson. She would like to attend the University of Akron to study exercise science, and at Washington High School she was a 4-year varsity soccer player, member of National Vocational Technical Honor Society and Senior Advisory Board. Mrs. Stephanie Hathaway stated, "Kaylin is very intelligent and has a quiet confidence about her that puts everyone at ease. She is smart, hardworking, friendly, and sincere personality will only make her a huge success." Jackson is the son of Jim and Kelly Collins and was a 3-year Tiger football player, Tiger cross-country runner, and also played in the basketball band. He wants to major in business, and Mrs. Ann Pulaski said, "Jackson is diligent, awesome, and an incredible student to have in class. His science and math skills are unbelievable." Thank you so much to Kaylin Ullman and Jackson Collins. Please give a Washington High School round of applause to Miss Ava Radel and Mr. Vince McConnell. Ava is the daughter of Tom and Ann Radel and has been busy with Tiger Cheerleading, Senior Advisory Board and Pep Club, as well as studying to be a dental hygienist at RG Drag. Ava would like to ride in a gondola someday, and Mr. Matthew Citron said, Ava does not shrink from hard work. She is constantly pushing her understanding of material and working to be the best version of herself. In a generation of complacency, Ava is an anomaly. You can count on Ava to ask the questions her peers neglect to even consider. Additionally, Ava's smile is contagious. It reaches her eyes and lights up to her face. She is a joy to have in class. Vince is the son of David McConnell and Amy McConnell. He is a Tiger varsity football player, is an active member of DECA and the National Honor Society. He wants to major in business after graduation, and Mr. Chuck Richards said, Vince McConnell evolved from a shy and quiet young man to an intelligent, creative, and full of personality marketing student. His ability to execute tasks by paying attention to details enabled Vince to be a DECA state finalist. His organization skills and amazing attitude will lead him to a path of success. Thank you so much, Miss Ava Radel and Mr. Vince McConnell. Please say good morning to Miss Dallas Covert and Mr. Nathan Gregg. Dallas is the daughter of Todd and Jill Covert and is very active in teen court, student council, National Honor Society, and Pep Club. Mrs. Karen Dietrich said, Dallas is a motivated and determined young woman who brings sunshine and laughter to every situation. She is very intelligent and has a promising future as a teacher. Nathan is the son of Michael and Teresa Gregg. Nate has been busy at WHS as captain of the Tiger football team. He has varsity letters in soccer and tennis and is president of DECA as well as National Honor Society. Mr. Chuck Richards stated, from kicking the Tigers to a DECA international qualifier, Nate Gregg always performs at an elite level. Nate is a future CEO. He strives for perfection at everything he attempts. His intelligence and sense of humor will elevate him to a successful career path. Please give a big round of applause to Ms. Dallas Covert and Mr. Nate Gregg. Let's give a Washington High School welcome to Ms. Sydney Magg and Mr. Isaac Farrington. Sydney is the daughter of Jill and Randy Magg and is captain of the Tiger Cheerleading Squad, member of National Honor Society, Senior Advisory Board, and a 2-year letterman in track. Sydney would like to study pharmacy in college. Mrs. Renee Parr said, Sydney is a beautiful person inside and out. She is a hardworking student with a strong work ethic and will definitely be a success in the future. I have enjoyed watching her grow up into the impressive young woman that she is today. Isaac is the son of Lindy and Marquise Odoms. Isaac is a Tiger football player, a member of DECA, National Honor Society, and is also a Tiger wrestler. Mr. Chuck Richards said, Isaac is a young man of character and integrity. His analytical skills and personality make him a finalist. He's a pleasure to have in class. Thank you so much to Ms. Sydney Magg and Mr. Isaac Farrington. Our final couple of the morning is Ms. Cameron Bickle and Mr. Dylan DeLong. Cameron is the daughter of Kelly Helmick and Chad Bickle, and she is a member of the Tiger Swing Band, National Honor Society, and musical, and would love to see the Eiffel Tower someday. Mr. Jason Neal said, Cameron is an extremely talented and hardworking student. On top of that, she is kind and caring. This rare combination helps her to be successful at whatever she puts her mind to. Dylan is the son of Renee Parr and Dave DeLong, and while at Washington High School has been a 3-year varsity letterman for the Tiger football team, member of National Honor Society, National Vocational Honor Society, and he also won 3rd place in nationals at HOSA. Most recently, Dylan received the Coaches Award in football. Mr. Dan Hackenbrack stated, I had the opportunity to be one of Dylan's coaches for the past few years, and what an honor it has been. He prepared himself for football the same way he approaches everything in his life, which is to the best of his ability. Thank you so much, Ms. Cameron Bickle and Mr. Dylan DeLong. The next part of our program, for that part, I would like to introduce Mr. Matt Citron. He's the smartest and best-looking science teacher in the building, and he's going to take over. He's going to take over the rest of the program. Enjoy. Thank you.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Matt Citron, and it's my pleasure and honor to be able to be here with you. I get a lot of perks and a lot of responsibilities here for this, but the one is that I get the very best picture of these guys. So you're gonna have to just wait a moment while I take this picture. Excuse me. So, all right, you ready, guys? There you go. And then that side? Oh, no, smile, for real. There you go. You got it. All right. They are nervous, and it is my job here today is to help them not be nervous. This is a very traditional thing. We are very dressed up. There's the only real formal assembly that we have here at Washington High School. And as Mrs. Hathaway said, it's 78 years in our tradition, which is fantastic. Our first 1940 winner, Miss Carol Bell, was judged by Mr. Bing Crosby, which was an interesting thing. Our judges are just as illustrious as Mr. Bing Crosby was at that time, and we thank you very much for your time today. I have a quick shout out for my Mod 3 students who are here today. Where are you? There they are. Okay, good. Thank you very much for being polite. And all of those other students who are back in their classrooms, thank you very much for watching this and enjoying this. And we'll kind of keep it brief and a little funny. And I told them, the competition is over. This is for fun. This is a celebration. Enjoy every minute of the time that you're on stage. The competition part's done. You're good. You've made it. This is a celebration of all the hard work that they've had over the last 4 years, 12 years, truly to speak. So with that having been said, I'm going to introduce my assistant, Miss Katie Snodgrass. Give her a little round of applause, please. Katie has in her possession a basket full of questions that they have not yet seen. They are going to be called up here and asked to answer those questions on the spot in front of all of you and all of the viewers who are out at home watching this on Massillon Cable. Now, for those of you, you're like, oh, that's great, no problem. For them, they're right now going, really? That's what we have to do? Yes, that's what you have to do. All right, so without further ado, and not to, because you didn't come here to hear me talk, let's bring out our first couple and let's let them answer their questions. Miss Leanne Brzezinski and Mr. Brandon Bennett. Come on up, guys. There you go. All right, as they come forward, they are going to be asked to ask them a couple of questions. They have decided who is going to get to go first, and I don't need to know that, so step on forward. Yes, Miss Leanne Brzezinski is our first contestant today. So Leanne, go ahead and take a couple of take 2 questions. You can pick 2 of them. She's going to get a chance to read both of them, to think it through in her mind, and as she's doing that, I have asked a few kind of oddball questions for you and I to discuss as we're here. Leanne actually has a couple of nicknames that her family likes to use. Sometimes they just call her Lily. I did not know that. Or perhaps Lay, if that's interesting also. If she had an opportunity to have any vehicle in the whole world, she would want a Jeep Wrangler. Having seen her drive through the parking lot, I'm not sure that's the best idea. No, read your questions. No, we're just talking. We're just talking. It's fine. And Leanne and I spend a lot of time together in National Honor Society, where she has had quite an impact on our organization as well. Having said that, have you been able to narrow down any of those questions?
I think so.
You think so? Well, you're going to come over here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, that's okay. So you're going to hand me that. Do you want this, or do you want me to hold this?
I got it.
You got it?
I got it.
All right, let me read the question so they know what we're going to answer. If you had a choice in a starring role in any movie production, what role would you choose?
Well, if I had the choice to star in any role in any movie production, I really wouldn't specify just one. I would probably pick the person that is very mean in the beginning. And I promise I have a point to this. The person who's very mean in the beginning and who's just rude to everyone and everyone hates. They become the very nice person in the end that everyone loves, and they go through many trials and errors to become the great person, the hero at the end. And that kind of is how life is. I don't mean to be corny, but you start off on a clean slate and you have a bit of errors in the beginning, and then sometimes you meet the right people and you just become a great person, and every now and then you hit a few bumps, but then life just has a way of working things out. So if I had a choice to be in any movie, as in any role, I'd be the bad person who eventually turns good. Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne. All right, Brandon, go ahead. Brandon's going to go ahead and pick 2 of his questions as well. Any 2 questions that you want. And you're going to take a moment to go ahead and look through those. There are a lot of people who make this event occur in this fashion, and there's a really important group of people who are sitting here today, and those people are the jazz band right there. They were playing in the background, so a little hand for the jazz band and their conductor, Miss Jen Smithheiser. They do a nice job of having that background music as we're coming in, and it fills that. They're really wonderful and quite talented young people who have been working quite a while to develop their skills. Brandon has several favorite colors. Brandon's favorite colors are really red, blue, purple. Actually, just any of them are fine. And he has also told me that he wears a size 10 shoe. So, just some random fun facts about Brandon. Keep you, you're interested. He's a candidate here. You want to know more about this guy. And if he could listen to any music, it would be anything. He would like to listen to anything. So, Brandon is a very diverse. Are you, sir? Are you ready?
I think so.
You are. All right, give me that. Let me read this one here. Brandon, please describe for us your favorite single photograph. Tell us the story behind it and why it's important to you.
My favorite single photograph would have to be my sister and my grandpa and I, we all went to this bridge, and we all this is when I lived in North Carolina, so the water was there and it was all pretty and there's docks, and we all took a picture, and I just remember that being a really, really, really good day. And it just meant a lot to me because it showed how much family we were, and because we had just everybody was stressed out in the house, and this is how we relieved ourselves, I guess you could say. And that's it.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. That's great. Thank you, Leanne and Brandon. Going first is never easy, but coming up second with Mr. Steven Sober and Miss Victoria Nelson. Give them a big hand as they come forward to answer their questions. So this event can't happen without all the hard work that's behind the scenes. I was speaking to the man in the booth, Mr. Myers. You'll never see him on stage. He's always back there hiding. He woke up at 5:30 this morning and said, "Oh boy, we have to get the whole thing set up." So thank you very much, Mr. Myers, and all your hard work. Have we decided who's going first today? We have. All right, I got to hold on to this first. All right, Stephen. Stephen, you go ahead and read through your questions as we're going through that. And Stephen is going to peruse his 2 questions. Stephen would like a Maserati. Anybody have Stephen's Maserati? If you have it, Stephen would like that at the end of the assembly, please, today. Also a size 10 shoe. Oh, that's a very popular. I asked him what a happy memory was for Stephen, and Stephen said that when he first got his acoustic guitar, it was one of the happiest memories in his life. So, and that is a wonderful thing. And then struggling to learn how to play it, which everyone who gets an acoustic guitar goes, yeah, oh, there's work to be done. All set, sir?
Yep.
Indeed. All right. So, if you were a train, what part would you be, and why?
Well, if I was in some universe a train, and I had to be any part of the train, I would be the wheels of the train. If you know anything about trains, wheels have very specific mechanics to them that make them work and then allow them to go around tight corners and allow them to reach the speeds that they go. And if wheels on a train are off by any minute measurement and precision, then they just completely fall apart and they don't work. If I was part of a train, I'd want to be the part that would have to tune in so specifically and really help the whole thing move along. Thank you. I'd be the wheels.
All right, how many of you are also going, the wheels on the train go round and round? Yeah, see, it's not just me. Tori's going to read through her questions too as we're going to go through that. I asked Tori a few questions. Her favorite color is purple, and she's wearing blue, so that's perfect, exactly as we planned it. Good job. And then she had a trip with her family to Disney World, and many of us know how that can be really an exciting trip to be able to spend time and quality time with your family. So as Tori is going through those and she's thinking through her questions, always looking for the question that's going to give her the most energy and answer the question completely to entertain you, and she's done. Didn't give me any time to pontificate more, huh? All right. Do you have any suggestions for Washington High School that would help the staff to get parents more involved in their own son or daughter's education?
I would suggest to get the parents more involved with their children's education, to have at least one mandatory meeting a year. And so at that point, their teachers would have to talk with the parents, and that way there would be communication going on between the teachers and the parents, so it couldn't get muddled up in between. And I also think that it's important that the parents kind of look through what the child is doing and maybe try to understand it. I know that's not always possible, but if they get involved, I know that's really important in a child's success. So that's what I would say I would suggest for a parent to get more involved. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much for Stephen and Tori. Wonderful job, guys. Good answers. Let me bring forward our next couple, and they're standing up right now, Mr. Ben Brailer and Miss Sam Smith. So it's fun for me because I get to teach these students as sophomores in biology and in my classes, and I see them as they grow throughout. And these two, they were in class together, so it's nice to see them here together. Have we decided who's going first? Sam is ladies first. All right, go ahead and grab your two questions. I'm going to tell some embarrassing stories about when we were in high school biology together, okay? Okay, that's great. No, I'm not going to do that to you. I am going to tell you that our administrative team here is very helpful, and I really can't do the things that we do at Washington High School without the support of our admin team within the building. We have Mr. Brad Warner, Mr. Jamie Palma, Mr. Anthony Thornsberry, and Mrs. Renee Parr, who is always here to help us out with all the things that we need. And we have a really wonderful staff and faculty and administration because of their hard work. So thank you very much to those people, and right here in the local building. We really do appreciate that. Sam has selected a question. Okay, I can't call you Samantha. I'm sorry. It's okay. I'm sorry if your mom minds. Sorry. It's okay. Hey, there we are. Okay. All right. What do you think is the most interesting aspect of yourself?
I believe that the most interesting aspect of myself is how well I can listen to others and understand what they're going through and try and help them through whatever struggle that they are dealing with and try and be the best of friend that I can be to everybody. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Ben Brailer, step on up, Mr. Brailer. Grab your two questions. So, taught Ben, had him in class, knew his older brother, have his younger brother right now, have his family. We all understand each other. We have a good relationship, the Brailers and I. So much so that as I was doing a lesson in class, they sent me a picture, and I have a picture of Amy and Tom in high school, and then I have all the boys in high school, and we were doing a comparison of their genetics, which was really appreciate the fact, and that could be Tom Brailer if time travel were possible. That's, yes. Yeah. Keep reading your questions. Keep reading your questions. I asked Ben what one of his favorite questions or favorite experiences or just happy memories, and he had to go back to beating McKinley this year So you can't go wrong with that football happy beating McKinley memory. So good job, Ben. Thank you. We really appreciate that little walk down memory lane for you. You good one? You got one? You picked the hardest one, didn't you? Yeah. Absolutely. That's what we expect. If you could be Mr. Warner for a day, go Tigers. All right. Okay, you want to answer it? What school rule would you eliminate?
If I could be Mr. Warner for a day, and I actually wouldn't eliminate a school rule, but I'd add a school rule. The school rule that I would add is that teachers have to bring in donuts for students once a week. Because we get hungry throughout the day, and everyone loves Lieberman donuts. Thank you.
Samantha Smith and Ben Brailer. That answer was brought to you by Lieberman's Donuts. Lieberman's Donuts, found downtown Massillon. There you go, there's your plug. All right, let's go ahead and bring up our next group. We have Mr. Jordan Smith and Miss Carly Gump. We actually do have several sponsors from the community that help us out. We have a luncheon, and all of the judges are there to interview the students afterward at Cosmos, and we really do appreciate the time that we spend at Cosmos. So thank you very much to that organization. All right, who's going first here? Jordan. All right, grab your 2 questions, Jordan. You'll get a chance to look through those. I'll make up some stuff to make everybody feel really comfortable, okay? Jordan had a stuffed animal growing up, which is not uncommon, and it was Buddy, Buddy the dog. And that's just a happy memory for Jordan to remember. And he also told me, on top of that, that if he had a choice, he'd like to write in pencil, not pen. That's okay. Jordan did spend time, as you heard on his biography, as our drum major. Not surprising, as is in my honors biology class in Mod 6 a few years ago, everything that he got his hands on was spun, all mod long, which is great. All right, Jordan, you're looking through those. Pick the one that makes the most sense to you. I can make up more stuff, don't worry. We actually have not only Cosmos downtown, but we also Patty Carmola. Patty Carmola provides all the corsages and the flowers that you're seeing here on stage. So we really appreciate Patty's contribution. Year after year, she does this for us. So thank you very much, Patty. All right, you ready? Yes? Yeah. Okay. We have entered the social networking world in the last couple of years. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. How has the social networking world changed your life, if at all?
It changed my life from once I was little. We started out with less technology, and as we got older, we had to advance into the technology world. So everything that we basically use today is electronic, so we have to be more advanced and have more knowledge with technology today. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. All right, Miss Carly Gump. Carly spent not only 1 year in biology, but 2 years in biology. And before you jump to any conclusions, she was my lab assistant for a year. So it was wonderful to actually have an extra transition with Carly as she's looking through her questions. I asked her a whole series of questions, and she simply said to me, "Surprise me." And if you know Carly, that was probably taken in the best possible sarcastic way. So I'll just surprise Carly by saying things like, she likes the color blue. She does, she does. And her shoe size is a 6. Good to know. All right, Carly, you have a question? Excellent. If you could be the best at any one thing, what would you choose?
If I could be the best at any one thing, I would choose being a leader because it gives me the opportunity to help people better themselves and actually help people understand more. It would also help me as a person realize that not only can I be a follower, but someone who can achieve greatness. Thank you.
Thank you, Carly. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Carly. Yeah, there you go. Great. All right. Those are wonderful answers. And so let me bring forward for some more wonderful answers, Miss Emily Kolick and Mr. Camden Brenner. The men, all the men up here on stage, were dressed and outfitted by American Commodore Tuxedos, which is over in Belden Mall. And it is a wonderful organization. They are super efficient. They're very happy to help us out each and every year. So we really appreciate American Commodore. Who's going first here, guys? Camden. All right, Camden. Take your 2 questions. All right. Met Camden a few years ago. Didn't have him in class, but I've known his family for quite some time, and they're here somewhere. I'm positive. There they are. Nice to see you. We'll chat later. Okay. At one point, I was sitting around with Camden and his family, and I said, boy, you know, Camden is not quite as, what's the word? And I think the word I used was sassy. I don't see a whole lot of sassy in Camden, but now that I've gotten to know him a little bit better, oh, there's plenty of sass there, Camden. You have absolutely done yourself proud. All right, keep looking. Go ahead, keep looking. You can read through those. So that's a fond memory for both Camden and I to share. He does have several hobbies that we enjoy, and we actually enjoy all of his work on our media and design program, which is our TelePro program, which the community gets to see as well. And which brings me into a perfect segue to thank Mr. Sheets and Mr. Farrell and our media and design tech. And they are here recording right now. Don't cut my head off, guys. Okay, good? Got me in the shot? Wonderful. All right, Cam, you ready? Let's see what you picked. Okay. Oh, going traditional. Okay. What does Obi symbolize to you?
What Obi symbolizes to me is everything that Massillon is, every tradition that we have, from football to Outstanding Senior Boy and Miss Mass, just everything, every class, every person. It symbolizes what this town stands for. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Camden. All right. Miss Emily Kolick is going to look through her questions now as well. And Emily and I have a running joke, although I don't believe she considers it a joke. It's just a kind of a state of being. Emily always would love to eat a piece of pizza. It doesn't matter. It always. I don't think that's a joke. That's literally just, right? Yeah, I mean, anytime. What would you like to do? Let's have a pizza. Okay. All right, Emily, let me see what question you have chosen here today. Okay. Who is the most influential person in our community now, and tell us why?
I don't feel that there's one individual that's the most influential. I honestly feel that the teachers make a huge difference in our community because they start from kindergarten and preschool and they build us up and they teach us everything that we know from the basics to like preparing us for college, and I feel like they really prepare us and really try to help us in the most possible way that they can. Thank you.
Great job, Emily. Thank you. All right. Emily and Camden, thank you very much. And as they are finding their way back to their seats, let me introduce and bring forward Mr. John Sanson and Miss Hannah Jones. So I mentioned that my job is actually pretty easy because all I have to do is make these guys look good. And that's not hard because if you take a look around, they're doing a wonderful job on their own. I'd like to, at this point, ask who's going to go first? Miss Jones. All right, Miss Jones, take 2 questions, read them, pick the one that you like best. Lindy's in downtown, the Lindy's Dress and Bridal Shop was generous in their contributions today in helping out the girls with their dresses. As most of you know, dresses, gowns of this nature are very expensive and time-consuming, and so it was wonderful that they were able to help out the ladies with these today. So really a great big thank you to Lindy's for their contribution. We really do appreciate that. All right, Hannah. Thank you. Hannah, please name an experience that has taught you the most.
An experience that has really had an impact on my life was the summer that I spent the week over the summer that I spent at Buckeye Girls State. And just briefly, if any of you don't know what that is, it's basically a week where representatives from schools from all over Ohio meet at a campus, and we spend a week we create our own mock government, and it's all girls. And this was just a very empowering experience that I had in my life, because it really just showed me the power that women have in not only the government, but just the world, and just the voice that our generation has, and all the positive things that are going to be coming for our future. And that was just very empowering, and it had a great influence on my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. John, go ahead and grab those questions and read through them. Take your time. John and I have a minimal relationship over time. I mean, we see everybody in a building of 1,200 students, and I look out and I see faces that I recognize and students that I know. And John actually last year spent some time with me during lunch for no reason other than he had an injury that he was recovering from, and it was a great place to hang out. So I got to know John a little bit. So it was always nice to spend time with him. So John, we got a question? Yeah. Wonderful. All right. What do you think about online dating? Would you ever try it, and why or why not?
I think online dating is a great way for you to get your name out there to potentially find a match and find someone you can spend the rest of your life with. So I would try it, because you never know what could come from it. You might be able to find someone that makes you happy and makes you a better person. Thank you.
Thank you, John. That answer was brought to you by Match.com. No. Let me bring forward our next couple, which they are rising right now, Mr. Quinn Perkowski and Miss Brianne Locken. Come on down, guys. So they've been sitting there now this entire time thinking, I still have to answer my question. So as they come down, they're not nervous though. Quinn's Mr. Cool here, so we're all set. Who's going first, guys? Oh, ladies first. All right, Bree. So as Bree is reading through her two possibles there, she is one of those individuals who is rare in that she is completely satisfied. I asked them what their favorite car would be, and she literally said, the car I have right now, which is a wonderful way to reflect upon the things that you have that are wonderful, and you already have it, so that's fantastic. But she also would prefer to write in pen, so which is great. All right. So as she's reading through, take your time. We have plenty of time. They love listening to me talk. It's great. We have in the building several returning Miss Massillonian Outstanding Senior Boy candidates. They have become faculty members here in Washington High School. And as we go through our days, although we may forget that event all those years ago, it's nice to know that those individuals, and maybe some of you, will be returning to join us here at Washington High School. All set? All right. If you were a foreign exchange student, where would you choose to visit to attend school for a year?
If I were a foreign exchange student, I think I would choose to attend school in England, because I think they have a culture that's similar to ours, but also very different in many ways. And I think it'd be interesting to learn about how their government's set up and how it's different from ours, and how we used to, in a way, live under that government way back then. And I think it'd be interesting to see where some of the roots might come from and how it's evolved from then. Thank you.
All right. Quinn. Quinn is going to look up a couple of questions here, and he's going to go through them. And Quinn is one of those individuals who goes through the day, every day, doing exactly what he needs to do. And it's always wonderful to see Quinn. He's always got a smile on his face, and he's happy. Right now, no, he's not smiling. Right now, he's thinking very hard. One of the things about Quinn, He always does that. I mentioned some of those faculty members. I actually have a list of some of them that are here that are Miss Massillonian and Outstanding Senior Boy former candidates. We've got Mr. Jerry MacArthur in our math department. He's back there with his Mod 3 class. Hi, Mr. MacArthur. We've got Miss Parr, who is here as a candidate. We have Miss Beal, who is here. Miss Ridgely, Mr. Ridgely. Related, but not married. All set? Okay. All right. You've picked a song question. What song would best describe your high school years and why?
All right, song had to do with classic, and the first thing I thought of was the alma mater, because I mean, if you just like hear the lyrics, like through the long, long years to come, wherever we may be, like we're always going to be together, like we're always going to be Massillon Tigers, and just thinking through the memories of throughout high school, like band or the musical drama club, like NHS meetings, jazz band. It's definitely been a heck of an experience. I mean, I love all you guys, and it's definitely been fun. And all these memories will definitely stick with me throughout the years. And, you know, just I love you guys, and you'll forever be in my heart.
Thank you, Quinn. Quinn and Brianna, thank you very much. Great. All right, as they're making their way back to their seats, we all wipe the tear away from our eye. Let me call forward our next couple, Mr. Jackson Collins and Miss Kaylin Allman. All right, guys. Dashing, nice way to match it all up. Who's going first today? Jackson, all right, go ahead and take your questions there. So with the committee that's behind the scenes here, there are a whole bunch of people. There's Miss Wendy Snodgrass, who helps with the Miss Massillonian, Miss Sherry Sunkel, Miss Megan Ridgely. We have Miss Jen Smithheiser, who is helping with us. We have Mr. Chuck Richards, who really just loves to have his name out in the community. So, hey, Chuck. I'm gonna say it about 6 more times just for you, okay, Chuck? He helps with the community. I also sit on that committee, and then I get elected to do this, mostly because I make them look good, or at least that's the hope that we're going forward. All right, Jackson, you all set? Yep. Wonderful. If you could go anywhere, where would you go, and who would you take with you?
If I could go anywhere, I would go to Japan, because my family, I'm 1/8 Japanese, and I have second cousins in Japan, and that'd be a sweet place to take my entire family.
Thank you, Jackson. All right, Kaylin, go ahead and look through those. So, as I had said, I've got my note cards here. I asked some questions of some of these students, and I asked some of those way back in her sophomore year. There was a project that I helped Kaylin with, and I didn't even know Kaylin at that time. They came in, they're like, we have to do this recording. Mr. Citron, can you help us with this recording? And I said, well, sure, what are we doing? She's like, well, we're doing a recording on anti-bullying, but we're going to do it in a humorous way. And so I literally taught Kaylin how to shove a student into a cupboard in a joking manner. But we did shove someone into a cupboard, didn't we? We did. We did. Let me see your question that you've checked it. All right. Kaylin, do you believe students should take challenging courses in high school? And please explain why.
Yes, I believe that students should take challenging courses in high school, only because it really prepares them for what is next to come. College, as I've heard, is not easy, and it's really good to see what you're capable of before you go to college with those challenging classes. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Great answers. All right, let me bring forward Miss Ava Radel and her escort, Mr. Vince McConnell. All right, Vince, you're gonna go first? All right, grab your questions. I've known Vince since his sophomore year when he was only this tall. That tall. Go ahead and read your questions. He says that he actually wears a size 17, no, 17? No, 14. It's a size 14. That's all right. It's always fun for me at least, to be able to joke with these guys as they're reading through their questions. You know, I have this relationship and the rapport with the students, and it's always fun to be able to see them in this light. Vince is not a nervous or anxious or cautious. Well, he's a little cautious, but he's not anxious at all. Have you seen him on the football field? Have you seen him? He's not hesitant at all. So it's always great to take them a little bit out of their comfort zone. I did offer to give him a helmet, but he said he wasn't going to go that way. I didn't think Mom and Dad would appreciate that at all. All right. Take a look. Need some more time? A little more time. Hey, I got cards out I mean, we're good, man. We also have, so I've thanked a lot of people throughout there, but there's really an unspoken crew of individuals that are back in the classrooms right now with their Mod 3s. You're here, you get to enjoy the assembly. They're watching it on the televisions and the screens. So they may not be as fortunate as you, but they are there. And there are teachers who are there watching them and enjoying this also. So we want to thank them for all their hard work as well. All set? Perfect. You gave me an opportunity to thank all my colleagues. It's great. Is there any class, Vince, that should be offered here at WHS that currently is not?
I think that a class that should be offered here that isn't is one that teaches you how to do stuff in life, such as pay your bills, file for taxes, that sort of thing. And, yeah.
Life skills, all right. Thank you, Vince. All right, Ava, go ahead and take a look through. I asked Ava a few questions, and I asked her, like, what's one of her favorite memories, and she said that it was all of that hard time that she spent studying for all of my hard tests. I'm like, oh, that's so nice. Yeah, she didn't write that at all, but I thought I'd throw that out there, you know. And there's a question about a G-Wagon. I don't know, that might be an inside joke, but that's apparently the card that she would like to have. As we go through our day-to-day and we have the questions that they're there, these questions are all assembled by the Miss Massillonian Outstanding Senior Boy committee. And then we just make these all up and we try to figure out something that might be challenging, like this one. If you were another person, would you be friends with you? And why?
If I were another person, yes, I would be friends with me because I feel that I'm really outgoing and I make people feel welcoming and I talk to everyone, no matter who you are, and I'm just nice to everyone, and I think I would make a really good friend. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. All right. We are nearing the end as my index cards start dwindling, so let me go ahead and bring up Mr. Nathan Gregg, Miss Dallas Covert. So as Dallas and Nathan make their way forward, they have probably talked about exactly who is going to answer this first question, and it is Dallas. And Dallas is a go-getter. All right. I asked Dallas what one of her favorite memories are, and thinking through it, and she looked at it and said, you know what, that Rose Assembly, when she was selected here for this event, was one of the things that really resonates for her. And it's always nice to know that these are events that are appreciated and enjoyed by the people up on the stage. And as we go through it, don't forget, it's almost over, so enjoy every minute that you've got left here on the stage. So, Dallas is also in the market for a Porsche. The Porsche, we got a Maserati, we got a Porsche, we got a G-Wagon. I don't know, I'll have to get the answer on that one later. All right, you ready? Okay. What do you think is the most important quality a person can have?
I think the most important quality a person can have is the ability to give good advice. Throughout my life, my family members and teachers have always given me good advice, and it's honestly been life-changing. Just like today, they gave me advice to not be nervous, breathe, and relax, and that really has helped me. Therefore, I think giving good advice is the best quality a person can have. Thank you.
Great job, Dallas. Thank you. All right. Nathan's going to go ahead and look through his questions. He was actually backstage rehearsing the questions. He's like, all right, if I get asked this, I know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that. Not surprising, Nathan is a very organized young man who likes the color orange, which is good because you're growing up in Massillon. So that's fantastic. We did, as an organization, National Honor Society, Nathan's part of that, play some kickball one day. And if I recollect correctly, Nathan's team won and hit a homer, didn't you? Dinger, didn't you? You did. You did. So when those memories come through, it's always fun to be able to share them here with you guys and hopefully give Nathan a little more time to process that question. All set, buddy? All set. All right. What fictional character would you enjoy meeting and why?
The fictional character that I would enjoy meeting would be Michael Scott from The Office. I'm on my second season of The Office. Actually, I've watched it twice. So I think I connect with Michael Scott a little bit because not only is he always professional, but he always has that comic relief. So I think I really connect with Michael Scott from The Office.
Thanks, Nate. Thanks, Dallas. All right. All right, let's, as they find their seats, let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and bring Mr. Isaac Farrington and Miss Sydney Mag up to the front. All right, who's going first? Wonderful, ladies first. All right, Sydney. So as Sydney is going to go through and look at those questions, take some time to yourself there. There was an acknowledgement that Sydney has been accepted to Ohio State. Congratulations, Sydney. That's a wonderful, that brings a smile to her face, and that's all the hard work. As I said at the onset, this is more of a celebration. The competition part, we've done that, and this is why we get to enjoy this as the celebration of all of this hard work that they've achieved. All right, you ready, Sydney? Yeah. Great. Sydney, how do you feel about employers checking your Twitter page?
I think it's very important that employers should check your Twitter page. It's what goes on in your outside life, and I think employers should know what's going on. You could be making very wrong decisions on Twitter, and they should know about that if they should want to hire you. It's very important to know everything about that person you're going to employ. Thank you.
All right, Isaac. Take a look through, pick the question that speaks to you, the one that you think about. So as you know, I've asked some questions of these, and Isaac said that his favorite type of music would be old school rap. And then he says here, drop the beat. I can't. I literally can't. I'm sorry. I wouldn't subject you to that. They had a fun memory. They had a trip that they took together. They all went to Cedar Point one afternoon. Did you cut school? No, you didn't cut school to do that. That was okay. That was good. That was a summer trip to go to Cedar Point and hang out, and that's always a nice memory to share with your classmates. All right, let me see what you got here. Explain the one most determining factor for you when choosing the college of your choice.
I think a big factor in choosing what college you go to is making sure that it feels like it's home, because you're going to be far away for a long period of time, and you want to make sure that you're comfortable and you can stay there for long periods without being there with your family. Thank you.
Good job. Thanks, guys. Wonderful. All right. That brings us down to the last pairing, the last questions that you'll be able to hear from these individuals. And that's Mr. Dylan DeLong and Ms. Cameron Bickle. All right. Mr. Dylan DeLong is going to pick his two questions, going to read through them. And as he's doing that, make sure I've gotten all my thank yous done and everybody is here that we've got. Our judges, of course, who have been introduced, thank you for taking the time and going through this. You can see the intense look on their faces as they're taking their notes and acknowledging it. And then the interview part still comes, so they're going to have some more work to do, but we really do thank you taking time to do this with us today. All right, Dylan, you all set? Yes. Yes, he is. All right. If you could be on any reality TV show, what would it be and why?
The reality TV show that I would like to be on would be Malcolm in the Middle. The reason why is they're a very funny family. Something crazy is always going on, and I like when something weird happens all the time. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, Cameron. Cameron is the last, so we can't say save the best for last because they've all been wonderful answers. But right now there's a deep sigh on the back, and they're like, we're almost done? We're almost done, okay. So Cameron is, like many of the other individuals up here, part of the National Honor Society, and I get to spend a great deal of time with Cameron, and we work through initiatives. And it always impresses me how someone who is so quiet is also so powerful in the ways in which she deals with people. So for those of you who know Cameron and know her well, she is somewhat, quiet. But when it comes to actually taking care of business, she can do that, and that's wonderful. Oh, and then there's a great story that baking cookies with her grandma and grandpa, and that's always a wonderful thing to watch them go through that process. So thank you, Cameron, for sharing that with us and everybody here today. And the last little bits of thank yous is I think I've got everybody's except for the next 4 mentions, which are all Chuck Richards, Chuck Richards, Chuck Richards, Chuck Richards, and Chuck Richards. Thank you very much, Chuck, for all your help here today. All right. Oh, this is a good one. Which teacher has influenced you the most here at Washington High School in deciding a future career?
I think the teacher that influenced me most in helping me find a career would have to be Mr. Neal, because even though I chose not to go into a future of music, he sat down with me and he helped me talk through my future options, and he was really helpful throughout that process. Thank you.
Great job, Cameron. Well, that concludes our question and answer session of the program. There's only one last thing to do, and that's for you to get some amazing photographs. So if you give me a round of applause, thank you, Katie, very much for helping us with the basket. And what we are going to do now is we are going to line all of these fine young people right up in front, so you can get your cameras ready, get your phones, get your iPads, get all that stuff going, get the live stream running, and then we're going to line them up couple by couple from that corner to this corner so that you can see everybody one last time and get a look, and they can stretch their legs. So let me go ahead and bring forward Miss Leanne Brzezinski and Mr. Brandon Bennett. All right, Leanne, come on over here and take your spot, 3 boards back, and Brandon, all right. And we'll have them all lined up right here in front of you. We got Mr. Steven Zober and Miss Tori Nelson. Great, thank you guys. Stand and shake your pose. We got Miss Sam Smith and Mr. Ben Brailer. Thank you guys. Wonderful. Miss Carly Gump, escorted by Mr. Jordan Smith. Next. Thank you very much. Come on over. Great, wonderful. We have Miss Emily Kolick, escorted by Mr. Camden Brenner. And come forward, please, Mr. John Sanson and Miss Hannah Jones. Great, thank you guys, wonderful. Get that picture there, that's great, scrapbook worthy. And coming up, we have Mr. Quinn Perkowski and Miss Brianne Locken. Wonderful. Get that photograph there. Perfect. Thank you. All right, and we have coming to the front, Ms. Kaylin Allman, escorted by Mr. Jackson Collins. Great job, guys. Thank you. All right, Mr. Vince McConnell is going to escort Miss Ava Radel to the front for one last photograph opportunity. Mr. Nathan Gregg, please bring Miss Dallas Covert to the front. Nathan Gregg and Dallas Covert. There you go. And we've got Mr. Isaac Farrington and Miss Sydney Magg. And our final pairing, which will fit in here perfectly, are Miss Cameron Bickle and Mr. Dylan DeLong. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your 2017 Miss Massillonian and Outstanding Senior Boy, Court. Today. We really appreciate you coming for the assembly. Ladies, if you would go off underneath the clock here, and gentlemen, if you would exit off to the exit sign. Wonderful, great job. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming. We appreciate your time and patience. The students, please, fourth mod is where you're headed now. Fourth mod for the students. Thank you very much to the judges. We really appreciate your time.